Okay. And welcome to my teammate, Becky, who just hopped on.
Welcome, Becky. So welcome, everybody. My name's Andrea LaPlante. And as I said earlier, hi, Ann. Kelly Braun and team are joining us. Deb Berenson. Hi, Kate. If I missed anybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to collaborate tonight, to have us join together. And AmandaWright is here with us tonight. I'm going to read her bio because I want to make sure that we respect everybody's time. But I'm so inspired by her, and she has such an amazing, powerful story. You're all going to absolutely be blown away when you learn about how she started sharing this in such a unique way. And she's a yoga guru, and she has the Green Vibe Healthy Tribe. She's attracting people like we are, and she's doing it in such an inspirational way. She's a mom with kids and a wife and, busy life like we have. So I just want to share and welcome everyone tonight to our call and to hear Amanda's story. But before I turn it over to Amanda, she is a wellness entrepreneur who loves helping women look and feel their best. She looks amazing. She has a master's degree in physical therapy from Duke University, a life coaching certification from the Coaches Training Institute, and 200-hour yoga teacher certification. She and her family love to travel. They have spent 5 of the last 10 years living abroad. She was the owner and owned a community of yoga studios in Georgia, and also taught yoga in Uganda. In 2013, she was looking for an online business opportunity and partnered with a company that aligned with her values and vision. Since joining this company, Juice Plus, she has created the Good Vibe Health Tribe as a way to support women who want to step into their health entrepreneurship role. The global team inspires healthy living by hosting wellness events, sharing plant-based products, the Juice Plus products and programs that support healthy lifestyle. And she resides now in Denver with her husband, John, her 2 boys, Jake and Carson, and her new puppy, Lulu. In her spare time, she enjoys hiking, traveling, and trying out new healthy recipes. So I had asked Amanda if she would just come on and share her journey and a little bit about how she grew a team when she moved away to Uganda, and how she connected even though she was isolated and didn't know anybody. So I'd love for you to hear her story, and feel free to take it away, Amanda.
Sure. Well, thanks, Andrea, for inviting me. I love collaborating. It's one of my top reasons I'm in this company, is I love sharing just information with other teams. And I'm so honored that you invited me to share tonight. And Andrea's gonna come on to our team training in a couple weeks too. So that's really great. Yeah, I love, first of all, when I hear my bio being read, I'm like, is that really me? Is that me that did all those things, or has traveled and all that? And what I would say is, if you haven't written your bio yet, go write a bio for yourself and be inspired by it. If there's things that you, and be really proud of what you've done. We all have unique reasons that we've joined this business, and unique things about ourselves. And so if no one's asked you for a bio yet, you know what a good thing to do is to have one ready, because you're going to be a speaker just like me, and someone's going to ask you for your bio. So have it at the ready. I find writing your own bio makes you get clear about who you're serving and what you're about. So I'll just start with that tip, is if you haven't written a bio yet, go ahead and do it. So as my bio said, I was a physical therapist. I was a burnt out healthcare professional. I was in a job that I would look at my watch from the time I went into work until the time I left. And I was just ready for a change. I had 2 kids at the time. They were 3 and 5, my boys. And I was running ragged. I don't know if anyone's in that stage of life, but I would drop off at preschool. I would run to work. I would run in. I felt like I would run to see patients. I would eat lunch while I was doing something else. I never felt like I was being present to anything, and I wasn't being a good mom. This is the story I told myself, but I wasn't being a good mom, a good wife. I never was on top of anything, and I was burnt out, and I didn't want to do it for the next 20 years. And I kind of had that realization. I'm like, is this it? Like, this is what I worked all this time for, is to feel like this? And I don't want to do this, keep doing this. And a big value of mine has always been time freedom. I don't mind working hard. I don't mind I don't mind putting in the hours, but I want to do it on my terms. If that means drinking my cup of coffee with my PJs and then going to work, that's what I envisioned my life to be like, more that I was in control. And that's not what was happening in my career. So I learned about Juice Plus completely randomly. My husband was at a conference and sat down next to a personal trainer from Germany. She told him about the products. He somehow gave the trainer my number. I guess that's a good tip, is that if you're connecting with someone, get their number, right? Get some way to connect with them. So often we're like, oh, I met so-and-so and they're great. They're going to be so great. And, I gave them my email. No, you get their information, because I would never be on this call if Dawn hadn't handed over my phone number. So I got on a call with her and ended up on a call with Lauren LaHave and Cheryl Cortese and listened to their story. So my second clue in my story is a three-way call, right? Three-way call. I had no idea. I don't remember how I got on this call, but I remember exactly where I was. And I don't remember what they said, but I remember how they made me feel, right? And they were curious and open, and they were just really interested in me, and they were fun, and they told me about the conferences, and they, I was like, you guys, they sounded like really fun women. I don't think I Googled anything. I didn't ask for a third-party validation. I don't even know if I looked at the website. So know that there's people out there that are looking for this, that don't even know they're looking for this, but they really just want to be connected to cool people. And that was me. I was a mom that went to work every day. I was in I moved to Denver, so didn't know many people. And I just want to be around cool women. And so Lauren and Cheryl were those people. And then Linda Evenden is actually my direct sponsor, who was the German personal trainer sponsor. She's in Australia. So she gets on the phone with me. Love Linda. She's super inspiring. And these women just wrapped themselves around me and just sent me cards. And I'm like, who are these people? They're really fun. They invited me to a conference. So I told my husband, I need to go to this conference. It's in Orlando. So we made it happen. And that was within a couple months of my business. And that's really where I saw the vision, is a conference. So I know a lot of you may not have gone to a conference yet, or if you have, the power of experiencing our company and our community in 3D, I call it. So I got to, hear David Katz was a speaker on stage at my first conference. Wow. Just an amazing name and speaker. I was able to hear from international leaders. I was able to go to, put a dress on for the first time, not have my kids on a plane, like all those things. I just checked a lot of boxes. And again, I don't know if I came away thinking I'm going to get to NMD, but I thought, oh my gosh, these people are happy. They're having fun. They're excited. They have a reason to leave their families. That's what I want. I want a reason to leave my family. A lot of people say I do this for my kids, and I do, but I also do it so that I can have a reason to leave them twice a year and go have fun. So it just checked so many boxes. And again, I didn't leave that conference thinking I wanted to be NMD, but I left it knowing that I wanted more of what it was. Whatever that was at that conference, I wanted more of. And so I left that conference. I went to what's called VF at the time, slow track to SC. So if there's any slow trackers out there, you can slow track. It's okay. Everyone's in their own lane. So don't make yourself bad or wrong because you haven't rocketed through the marketing plan in 2 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is. I was a slow tracker. And I was consistent. I was consistent in just showing up for calls, more because I just wanted to be part of the community at first. I'm like, these are really cool women and I want to be close to them. And then, so I built my little team. I think I had 3 people and I was all excited. I started to do some events. My first event, no one showed up to. I called Linda and cried. Not cried, but I was upset. I'm like, and she talked me through, the disappointment and just knowing that I had someone always that I could call or just connect with, and she really helped to redirect that. So I was at this point in my business. I was really excited to really just go. I had gone to a few more conferences at that point, and then we got the call, my husband's work, that he was put on a project in Uganda, and it was just one of those experiences we couldn't pass up. He had been a Peace Corps volunteer in Kenya before. We wanted to get back to Africa in some way. So we moved our whole family sight unseen to Uganda. My kids were 7 and 9 at this point. And I basically, just took my business with me. This is my business. It's in a pink binder. I packed it up, brought my laptop with me, and really didn't know what to expect. As most of you know, we don't do business in Uganda. I couldn't sign up a teammate in Uganda. I couldn't ship my own products to Uganda. But what I did after getting settled in, and it took me a couple months, and during that whole time, I kept showing up on calls as I could. But I really realized that my why was getting bigger. I was like, when I go back, this Uganda gig is really great. Like, I don't have to work in healthcare. Basically, I had time on my hands. John's job was supporting us. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to use these 3 years. I'm going to really give this a solid yes. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I just knew when I went back to Denver that I didn't want to have to go back to healthcare. And so I really took it one step at a time. And a couple of things that I have my little list of things I want to share with you about how I did that. But, it was really most of all a mindset shift. And I know you're going to hear that a lot. But I broke it down for you guys into a couple of things that I did. And the first thing I would say that I did is be resourceful. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Is that you have to take responsibility, and this is what I had to tell myself. I took responsibility for my own business. It wasn't Lauren's job. It wasn't Linda's job. It wasn't Cheryl's job. I'm not a complainer, and I think that really helps me. I don't look at the bad. Anything I look at what is going wrong and how can I be resourceful. If I need to know the marketing plan in the UK, I'm going to go find the marketing plan in the UK. I'm going to go find someone that knows it really well. I'm going to get on a Zoom call and I'm going to have them walk me through it, right? I'm going to find, I started building a team in Dubai. I'm going to friend the guy that's, works in the Dubai office. I'm going to have his number on WhatsApp, and he's going to know me by text. And if I have a question, he's going to know me. I'm going to be his #1 fan, and I'm going to get my questions answered. So whatever that means for you, and I don't know where you are in your business, but being resourceful. Don't just take an answer as is. Find people that know the answers and go get your own answers. I think that's what I did for the first couple of years of my business. Is I really sought out my own answers. And that made me really know my stuff, right? So if you're waiting on someone to give you an answer, if you're waiting on someone to build your business, if you're waiting on a training, don't go find it. Go ask for it. Go create it. So being resourceful, finding mentors that speak to you. And I don't mean you have to call somebody up and say, will you be my mentor? I really want you to be my mentor. Most mentors don't even have to know that they're your mentor. What you're going to do is just stalk them and find them, see what they're up to. You're going to find their trainings on YouTube. You're going to find their, the stuff that they did 3 years ago. You're going to absorb what they're doing. And what I've always done is I've always had probably 5 or so mentors that I'm always learning from. And I'm sort of a collaboration of all of them. So some of my mentors are, like Eric Warray and Jesse Lee Ward, who's a big network marketer, Christine Drummond, who's on Linda's team, Kim McCall, who was part of Juice Plus. She was a mentor for a while. Just learning from people. Some are good at social media. Some are good at sharing their stories. Some are really good at trainings. So find mentors maybe outside of your own team and go and learn from them. Again, it doesn't have to be let's hop on a call once a week. Most of the time, they're not going to do that, but you can just learn from them. Be resourceful in the books that you read and the audios that you listen to. There's so many free trainings out there. And if you're really lacking a skill set, be resourceful and go find it. There's, again, so many free things out there. Not being skilled in this business is just a matter of going and learning the new skill. So one is be resourceful. In Uganda, that meant, using a VPN to connect to social media because I had to go out and then back in. It meant getting up at 4 a.m. to be on team trainings. It meant finding new people to talk to that were outside of Uganda, maybe in the UK. It was asking for referrals. It was going to Dubai for the grand opening there, not having a team, but just doing it anyway because I wanted to grow my business. So that's what it meant for me is just going outside the normal zones of, I guess I would call just normal trainings, finding new ways. Number two, I would say is be invested. And that to me means investing, first of all, in your own business. Invest in as many products as you can take. You know, I didn't start off with all the products, and it's okay if you don't, but as soon as you can, get on all the products so you can really have a story about all of them. So taking the products is obviously a first investment. Invest as much as you can of your own paycheck back into your business, especially the first couple of years. I know that a lot of you, you know, even if your goal is just to make a couple $100 a month, a couple $1,000 a month, if you're now making, you know, let's say $150, can you invest $50 a month back into a training or back into yourself? Okay, is that finding an Instagram training that's going to give you the edge in that? Is it, you know, is it signing up for a course that's going to inspire you? Is it hiring a coach? You know, investing a piece of your business back into yourself, because it's going to pay you 10, 20, 50 times the amount that you're going to put into it now. And that's a belief that I have. And I hope that you'll take that belief on, because right now, if you think of investing, the only real thing you have to invest in right now is yourself to grow. Be invested in your team. Okay, even if they're just a small team, you're responsible for building that team culture right now. And culture really trumps a lot in our business. People will stay and people will leave because of team culture. And so if you have a small team, they don't have to have a name yet. They don't have to, you know, you don't have to have a logo yet. Some of you probably do and probably will. But what I would say is, you know, a handwritten card goes a long way. A little gift here and there. And I think our company is so good at that. I'm sure you guys are already doing that. But I would say if you can up that game, you know, I send out handwritten welcome postcards to all of my new teammates every month. You know, we do drawings on our team. We give away T-shirts and we give away prizes, and people will do a lot for a T-shirt. You guys, you won't. It's really fun. So invest back in your team. Maybe just surprise somebody. Just say, you know what? I know you're having a rough month. Like, here's a Juice Plus T-shirt. We're caring about you. And so investing that money back in your team again will pay itself forward. And then, of course, conference. I know it was online this year, which is great. But, you know, when we're back in person, you know, getting your team together, paying for a hotel room for somebody. I mean, my first hotel room was paid for by Linda. I shared it with 3 Aussies. I mean, that's why I went. If I didn't have that paid for, it would have been a really hard conversation with my husband, because I didn't have the confidence yet of what that conference was. To him, it was just a reason to get away from him and the boys. And, you know, yeah, it was, but it was also me learning about the company. So that hotel room was my chit, right? It was like the thing I held on to. I have a free hotel room. Hey, Vina, I think you're unmuted, by the way. Vina's on my team as well.
Sorry.
So, that's okay. So invest in your team, pay for a hotel room, pay for a round of drinks, you know, make sure that you're at conference, make sure, you know, find network marketing trainings. I would say I've been to GoPro, I've paid for Ray Higdon. You want to skill up, you want to get those skills. You want to grow into your business. Number 3, so we have be resourceful, be invested, is be committed. And I know there was a shift when I was in Uganda that I didn't finish telling my story. So while I was in Uganda, let me finish that. While I was in Uganda, I went from a barely POB qualified sales coordinator. I remember the day that I looked at my record and I was like, I am not going to hit POB this month, to a 12+ club in ND in less than 3 years. And I mean, that's not like rocket fast, but in a third world country where there's no product, no team, I didn't do any live events during that time. it was a pretty cool story. And so the things that I'm telling you are how I did that. Is I really had a mindset shift on I'm gonna if it is to be, it's up to me, and I'm gonna create this shift in my business. And so I really made that change with number 3, which is be committed. So I was in this wishy-washy state of, is this working? Is this worth it? I don't know. My check's not that great. People cancel. I'm in Uganda, Like, I know that we've all had those wishy-washy moments. Are you in or are you out? Are you doing it or are you not? Just make the decision and do it, because it is so much easier when you're committed. I will tell you, when you're just like, this is what I'm doing. This is my path. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but this is my Juice Plus is my vehicle. It's my thing. We're all doing this to get from here to there, right? So whatever vehicle you're deciding to do, you could go get 3 other jobs, right? But we've all decided that Juice Plus is a way for us to add value, to help people with their health, and to provide us whatever financial choices that we're looking for. Okay, so if you're still in wishy-washy land, it's really hard to grow. You're not going to be an attraction magnet if you're in wishy-washy land, right? Because you're not even sure if you're committed. How are you going to attract anyone else that's going to be committed? Okay, so stay close to people that are really committed. And that's when I made sure I was a wishy-washy land. Yeah, that's a new one for me, Andrea. In tennis, they call it like no man's land, where you're not really I don't know how many tennis people there are, but you're not really at the net, and you're not really in the backcourt. You're in this middle zone, and you get smashed every time, right? Because you don't have your eye on the ball anymore. So for our business, being in wishy-washy land means you're not being attractive. You can't, you're not being confident in sharing, and it's just really hard. It's super hard. So you need to build your belief up so that you are not in wishy-washy land, that you're in like, this is what I'm doing and I'm 100% committed. And every day it's a commitment, guys. It's not like you reach it. I'm sure Andrea and the other NMDs on the call, you realize you don't just get there one day and like, all right, I made it, like I'm there. Every day you're recommitting to that, to your vision and to why you're doing this, and to not being in wishy-washy land, to being committed land. Okay, but once you're there, it is much easier to just build team. It's much easier to be that attraction magnet, because people want certainty. Okay, so when you're certain about the products, a lot of you probably are really great at sharing the products, because guess what? You have certainty around them, right? You have a great product story. They've done amazing things for our health. We can attract customers like crazy. It's the business part of it that sometimes we lose our confidence on. At least that's what was happening to me. So once I was committed and saying, okay, this is what I'm doing, I hung on to people that had a little bit more commitment than I did, right? I listened to their trainings. I was on their calls. I was inviting them into 3-way calls and hanging on to that commitment, because I would go up and down, but the closer I could stay to them, I would hang on. Okay, and focusing on activity, because the more that you can be in action, there's less doubt. We hear that all the time. So for me in Uganda, that meant we really built up our Shred 10 program while I was there. That was our main vehicle for sharing. That was our duplicatable system. It was online, and that's what got me into action. I just shared that Shred 10 program like crazy. I connected with people online. I asked them if they were interested. We built a website that was a container for them. We had a duplicatable program every month. And so that's what we really leaned into. Number 4 is be clear. Okay, so be resourceful, be invested, be committed, and be clear. So when you're clear, this kind of goes with being committed, but being clear about who you are, why you're doing this. Okay, and it's okay if you don't have a why that makes you cry yet. I don't even know if I still do. Okay, everyone says you need a why that makes you cry. Yeah, it's great, but my why is just I have a high value of excellence. I'm a hard worker. I love this company. I love helping people with their health, and I can't imagine doing anything else. And so that's what gets me up and at my desk every day, and all the teammates that I want to help serve and help them get their goals. So even if your why is small right now, just get clear about what that is for you. Why do you want to do this? My why in Uganda was obviously not to go back and work in healthcare and have my own time freedom and sip my coffee in my PJs and have a little more flexibility around my kids' schedule. Be clear about who you're talking to on social media, especially. So if you're trying to please everyone on social media, you're pleasing no one, right? You're trying to talk to your Uncle Fred and your neighbor, and you don't want to upset anybody. What I would say is the more clear I got about who my ideal client and ideal customer was, the better I got at writing in social media, the clearer I got about why I was on social media. And so I have a hunch, if you're like me, your ideal client is a lot like you. Okay. So you don't have to do all that. It's not that hard, but who is your ideal client? What are they interested in learning about? What are their pain points? What kind of events would they like to go to? You know what? My ideal client likes to go to yoga and smoothies. You know why? Because she's a lot like me. My ideal client likes wine and wellness to get out of the house on Thursday night. My ideal client likes to go hear, great people, likes to go hear health talks. My ideal client does not like early morning Zoom calls. My ideal client, wants to hear about hormone health as she's entering her 50s, So what is your ideal client like? What do they want? What do they want from you? What is their pain point? What are their health concerns? And you guys can go look up trainings on this. There's free trainings out there on finding your avatar, finding your ideal client. But I found the clearer I was about who I was talking to, the easier it was to share Juice Plus, because people don't care what Juice Plus is really. They care about what it's going to do for them. Right. So yeah, 30 fruits and vegetables, and NSF, we all have the story down. What's it going to do for you? What's it going to do for me? And that's where talking to your ideal client is really great. They're going to be concerned about, maybe they're concerned about pregnancy right now. Maybe they're concerned about hormone health. Maybe they're concerned about weight loss. Maybe they're concerned about their kids going off to college. And so when you're writing your social media, when you're sharing your social media, thinking, would my ideal client like to see this right now? Is she or he, is this speaking to her? And if it's not, maybe just there's a way you can rewrite it or ask a friend. But that's the way that I found that I got clear on social media, is really writing to that ideal avatar or client. All right, last little thing, and we're going to wrap up, is be inspired. This is a business of creativity. Oh my gosh, there are so many ways to be creative in this business, so many ways to share your gifts, what you're into. I don't care what your hobby is. I don't care what you love to do. You can weave Juice Plus into it. If you have show dogs, or if you are a jockey, or if you love, gosh, I don't even know, worm culture, whatever, the making of the worms. We have a teammate that's into worms right now. Right. So find a way to inspire yourself, right? Sign up for that class, listen to a speaker, because guess what? When you're inspired, you're going to be in an inspired state to share you, and then you're going to be more attractive. If you're not attractive right now, a great question Lauren always asks us, and I think it's a good one to write down, would you follow you right now? If you looked on your social media page, would you be inspired? If you came to your event, would you leave feeling better than when you came? If you listen to yourself, if you listen to your story, would you be inspired? And if not, go find a new story, go sign up for do the 75 hard challenge. Doesn't have to be that crazy. Do a 10K run and, document each day your training. Go learn a new skill and do a live on Facebook about it. Like, get yourself out of your comfort zone daily, and you're gonna grow your community. You're gonna grow your influence. People are gonna get to know you. You're gonna get to know yourself. And that's, I think, what I learned through all this is I had lost who I was. I was a mom, and I had a career that I didn't like, and I didn't even know what I liked. If someone had asked me to write my bio 7 years ago, I had nothing to put on it. I felt like I didn't have anything. So this journey of being clear and being resourceful and being invested and being inspired. Like it's all led me to have a better idea of who I am and what value I can offer. And then that in turn presents itself in my life with people who want to be part of that and part of our culture and mission. So yeah, I returned from Uganda 3 years ago now. Hard to believe. We're settled in Denver. I'm not rebuilding my business, but I'm resettling in Denver. Have to find new friends. Just all the stuff that comes with living in a new place. But Juice Plus has been that consistent thread of positivity in my life. I have the best teammates. We are just so much fun. I think the Juice Plus community is fun in general, but I couldn't be more proud to be part of the company. And, I think when I see my future in Juice Plus, this is a company I want to retire into. I see so many people that have gone before us that are doing this well into their 60s and 70s. And now, I can't imagine doing anything else. So I hope that was helpful. Please share any questions or anything that you have. Maybe there were some in the chat.
Hey, I just unmuted because I didn't want to interrupt you, but oh, what a powerful story. I took lots of notes, and I can't believe you and I have a very similar story where I was a VF, went to conference for the first time as a VF. I was a mom at home with 3 kids. My husband had been traveling over 20 years, but I had a corporate career before, and I didn't want to go back to that. But I remember going to conference and being like, are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. And thinking, I didn't realize this, it was a real business. It was this global business. It was so much bigger than me sitting in my house talking to people. There were people around the world that were doing this and connecting and sharing and inspiring. And I remember seeing that stage and thinking, I want that. I'm gonna go back, because I was in that same place as you. I fast tracked to VF, and then I slow tracked to sales coordinator, and I was in the wishy-washy, like, is this really gonna be the corporate type income that I was looking for? But I don't want to settle. I don't want to be in a commute. I don't want to leave my kids. I want to help coach them. I want to be teachers, in the classroom. I want to volunteer. I wanted to be present for them. And I didn't want to let myself down, because I wanted something too. I had so much to give. And I remember a conference blew me away. And then when I came back, I ended up getting to NMD within that 2-year time frame. And
Wow.
I believe you did it not knowing anybody in a new country where you couldn't even order your own products. How did you even get your products to you there? Did you?
So I had what is it called? A mule. I had a mule, which just means I had someone bring it in for me from the embassy. So she was kind enough. I ordered to her site, and she would bring it in through the embassy. And then anytime a family member would come, I would ship it to them, and then they would come in and bring the product. And then I would go back sometimes in the summer and bring it in that way. But yeah, it was not easy, for sure.
I can't even imagine what you had to do to get your product, to build a business. I mean, it blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. And, looking on the outside, looking in, you would think, oh, well, this seems like it would be easy for her, because she was just so skilled. She was in PT, and she was in that atmosphere, and she just could get it done, right? But then you hear your story and all the obstacles that you went through, and being wishy-washy, and then jumping in and committing and moving away, and now moving away again. I mean, now you're back in that's a lot of changes. And throughout it all, you really stayed focused on what your message was. And it's so amazing to hear you say you want to retire into it. And I feel so blessed too, to get up and have my tea in my pajamas in the morning. And my kids, with remote school, I've been able to spend time with them while they're teenage boys, hanging out with me and making breakfast together. And I'm never going to get this time back again. And that's what this business provides, is whatever you want it to be, and whatever your heart and however you feel and see yourself in life, you can create it with this business and help people at the same time. And you can be your amazing self, giving back, you know, having something for yourself and building something of your own, which I think a lot of women, I know for me, having had a corporate career and then being home with the kids, you kind of lose yourself a little bit. Like, hey, wait a minute, you know, is there anything else I can do? But you don't want to really sacrifice being away either. Sometimes it can be tricky. So this provides that. But I just want to say I am so grateful to you for showing up and sharing your story with us tonight. I know you're busy. And if everybody wants to unmute, if you want to say thank you and good night, 'cause I know we have another call, but I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for sharing. Absolutely loved your story and all your points that you brought up. It was such a great training. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys. And yeah, I'm
Thank
just
you, Amanda.
looking, thank you for all the kind words on the chat. I'm just reading those now. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get to meet in person soon.
So if you feel free to unmute, guys, and say
Thank
say
you.
goodbye to
Thank you.
Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. That was
you.
Thank
so
you,
Thanks,
Amanda.
guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Including us.
Bye.
Very much.
It was great
Thank
to
you. That
see
was
you
so great.
all. Thanks,
Sure.
guys.
Great
Bye,
training.
everyone.
Thank you, Amanda. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.